Hello, hello. Welcome for another episode of Market Leader Live. Hey, it's your host with the most, your main man, Darren M. Palmer. Excited to be with you today where I'm able to talk to industry experts. I got my girl, you know who it is, Y Sales is in the building with my girl, Joyce Johnson. And I also got Miss Wanda McArn on today. Ladies, say hello. We'll start with you first, Joyce. Say hello, and then we'll go to Miss Wanda.
Hi there, Joyce Johnson. You guys see me here before. I am Joyce Johnson, author, speaker, sales champion coach, and founder of Y Sales Network. Thank you for having me, Darren.
Awesome. Miss Wanda, we on you.
Yes, good afternoon. My name is Wanda McArn, and I'm a retired sales and consulting leader. I'm happy to be on with you today.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Miss McArn. If you don't mind, Joyce, please share a little bit about why you brought Miss Wanda out of retirement, because Miss Wanda already shared the details, spilled the tea. I'm going to have Miss Wanda share here in just a second, but share why you brought her on for today's Market Leader Live, if you don't mind.
You know, Darren, at Y Sales Network, we've launched our series lineup leading up to the Y Sales Leadership Retreat, June 25th and 25th. And so as we were looking at topics and speakers and things that we felt that people really needed at this time to pivot into the new norm, we had a topic around interviewing tips and passing your performance reviews. Things are just really, people are really stressed at this time. So of course, when you put something out like this, you want the best, right? You want someone that has that expert knowledge, right? And who've studied things and they really understand the core and how to also connect with people. I have been fortunate to be trained and mentored by Wanda for many years. And so I just felt like in this key area, why go searching for someone else when I have a Wanda, in my pocket, as she say, and people that I like to volunteer to do things. I call it ask. They call it volunteer, but I call it an ask. So again, I just wanted, like I said, I have truly benefited from being trained by Wanda and by her information, knowledge, and insight that she brings to the table and how she communicates and engage people. And so I wanted someone that had that talent and skill set for our audience.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Joyce. I really appreciate it. Now, I know people are wondering, how in the world can Miss Wanda be retired and just 37 years old? Because hey, we can't tell it all on Market Leader Live. We'll let them catch up on that later on. Miss Wanda, if you don't mind, let's just start from the top. But what are some things that you're seeing or that you've seen in your career where people are dropping the ball or how they're missing opportunities by not being prepared or whatnot when it comes to performance or things like that? Could you share a little bit about your experience and what you've seen in the industry?
Yes. So I have a background in sales leadership as well as consulting leadership. And I have a certification in talent management. So my background is HR from my degree. So I've had the opportunity to use my degree in my sales career. And one of the biggest things that I'm seeing is that we sell ourselves short. We rely totally on the leader to evaluate us. And if you are the manager of 8 to 10 people, I can't keep up with everything that you do over a 6-month or a 12-month period. So I think that it's imperative that your leader is not hearing something new when you're sitting down with them to do a review. That's the biggest thing.
Wow. Did y'all hear Miss Wanda dropping them bombs on us already right now? Miss Wanda dropping them bombs on there. You said it, Joyce. You said she was the woman.
What I tell you. I know what I know.
And when we look at that, just think about how many people are waiting on someone to notice them. And they're sharing and they're saying what Miss Wanda brought up. Well, I did that project. Well, nobody knows that you did that project, so it doesn't even count. And so what Miss Wanda is sharing with us, are you having dialogue? Are you communicating? Are you taking advantage of opportunities where you can get more training or get certification to show that you're serious about moving up or being prepared for the positions within your organization? Make sure that you're connecting. Get out of the old school mindset of, I don't want to feel like that I'm kissing no butt. Or I'm not kissing up to anybody. They're just going to see my work and they're just going to come to promote me. If nobody knows you, if they don't know you, they can't follow you. And speaking of that, Ms. Wanda shares some great points. Joyce, if you don't mind, share with us as well, what has been your experience as far as people not communicating and getting rid of that thinking, as the old school Zig Ziglar would say?
You know, and she hasn't said it here yet, but one of the things that Wanda has coached and that I benefit from for many years is you got to own your own development, right? Even when you work for someone, you work for yourself. And you have to own your own development. You have to own what it is you want to get out of an organization. And then it's your responsibility to communicate that to your leaders. And you, when you're doing something, you know, let them know so that they can promote it as well. But if you tell them once a year, like Wanda says, she had 8 people. So you know, you have to let them know what you want, and you have to continue to meet with them and check those boxes. But the biggest thing is, and I know Wanda, you know, she's going to talk about this on Tuesday. We don't give you everything, Darren, but you got to own your own development.
Ms. Wanda, if you don't mind, speak to that, owning your own development.
So a lot of companies are doing that. And I actually just had this conversation with a friend of mine who's in the furniture sales business. And she was like, well, how am I supposed to know where to go in the organization? Owning your own development means you have to be able to tell your leader the types of things that you're interested in. I am personally one of those people who don't like folks to put down titles of roles that they want to do, because then I think it really pegs you, and people are looking, well, there's not a, you know, a director of sales available, so Wanda's not up next. We don't have a director of sales job. So when you own your own development, I believe you work on those competencies and those things that you like to do or that you want to acquire, whether they're technical skills or additional leadership skills. You sit down with that leader and tell them, these are the things that I'm looking to do, and who are those people or avenues that I can take to get there. I'm going to be honest with you. Sometimes your leader doesn't even know. So Joyce and I know I'm all about networking. I made sure that when I was at Grainger, that was not going to be one of the things that they said is, well, we don't really know Wanda. Everybody knew me. I was going to make sure that they knew me. So every person that I got, every business card that I received, I followed back up with that person, whether I was looking for a job or not. I wanted to understand what they did for Grainger, what their part was in the business. And sometimes I was like, oh, I could do that. And it was not even a title that I'd ever thought about. So owning your own development means you go out and you seek those opportunities. You also look at, how do I acquire new skills, new skill sets that the company may need? So being more entrepreneurial, if I was going to own my own business, as Joyce said, what would I be looking for? What skills can I look for? You can't take those skills away from me. Now I might move on to another job, but the skills following me.
Oh man, this is amazing. Thank you so much, Miss Wanda. I just want to chime in and share this. And this is something that I've been doing even with my own staff. If we're living in a day and time that if you don't work on yourself, it's only so much that's going to be done during a 9 to 5 time frame. If you are not adding value, when you face times like what we're dealing with COVID-19, or back in the day, if it was Y2K or the 80s or whatnot with the gas short, it doesn't matter. People are going to make those hard decisions. When we look at people, I'm talking about management or the business owners, and they're going to look at who's adding value and who's not. Can we get a virtual assistant for this? Can we outsource this? How can we make cuts? But if you're doing what Miss Wanda is sharing with us, as far as making sure that you have a mindset of growth, not waiting on somebody to send you to a conference, not waiting on somebody to tell you that you need to take a course. You need to come in and add value, but saying that I noticed that these are a bottleneck in the company, but these are some of the things that I've been able to work on. And these are some areas that I know that we can grow in. This is how I can fulfill that obligation that the company needs or whatnot. It's finding solutions, being solution oriented. And, you know, I want to bring that back to you, Joyce, if you don't mind, because Ms. Wanda is still sharing sales, even if you got a position. So if you don't mind, right, go a little bit deeper into selling yourself, whether you know it or not. If you're looking at being promoted or if you're looking at adding value to the company, you're still in sales. So let's talk about that dirty word sales that some give it.
You know, you're always, Darren, as I say, everything starts with a sale, right? And sales is actually, you know, it's that transaction between two people, whether it's a service, a product or what have you, and you're basically selling them on your service and on your brand and why you are the best fit for the organization, right? So when you are, for me, I'm selling myself because I'm saying, okay, well, I'm a member of this organization internally, and then if my leaders go to this conference or that conference where they may have paid for me to go, or I may have paid for myself, I've done such an exceptional job selling it. People are going to be walking up to the booth saying, hey, where's Joyce Johnson? Because they're going to connect my brand with the company because I've sold them on both the company and Joyce, right? So you have to go back to your leaders and say, here's just not some of the responsibilities as Wanda said, not a title, but here's some of the things that I like to see for myself in the future, as far as what I like to accomplish. And here's some of the things I've done to prepare for that. So
and
I didn't wait for them to tell me, right?
Yeah. So Joyce, Darren Joyce and Darren, one of the things I was going to say about when Joyce said it about those conferences, because we do things like the National Sales Network and other conferences that we go to, and people go and they have a good time and they come back and the manager never knows what happened. Why did I pay for you to go if you're not going to come back and share anything? Absolutely. You cannot attend the conference that the company paid for and not come back and share something with your team. And so every time, even as a leader, I come back and I go, wow, I heard this great seminar on X. Let me tell you how our team could use that. Because sometimes they may not be able to put those things together. One of the things I was known for is bringing books to our team, my consulting team. And my leader was like, that's the thing we're going to miss the most, because you didn't just bring the book. After you read it, you said, now let me think about how this consulting team could use this in what we do every day. So we've got to take advantage of that. So if I'm a leader and say, oh, Joyce went to that conference and she just showed the rest of the sales team how to present better, or how to be more confident, or how to sit better in a sales meeting, she's really trying to improve. She's showing leadership skills. And I had not seen that in Joyce before, but now I see that in her. So it's all about how you take the things that they're giving you, the little nuggets that they're giving you, and you bring it back to them. Now I will pay for that conference next year. There's not going to be an issue of whether I pay for it or not.
That's that trial close. Those trial closes.
There you go. There you go. And Joyce, I think this is a perfect time because Miss Wanda is just giving us value bombs. They feel like it's Hiroshima or something. I'm over here ducking. I'm hitting us with these bombs. If you don't mind, share whatnot about this Thursday, what's going to be going on, and how people can participate and sign up, if you don't mind, to hear more from Miss Wanda.
Yeah, well, Thursday, everyone can go on to our webinar series, which is the title of the webinar series is Pivot During Panic. Again, want to give people insight and tools that they need to be able to move forward to the new norm, because we're not going back to the way it was, right? And one of those things is we've been away from not being in front of our leaders, right? And so how are we going to be able to communicate to them during that review, that performance review, that we are still the best candidate for the role? And so that's why we have Wanda on Thursday. They can go to www.ysalesnetwork.com to get registered, or they can go to our Facebook page, www.ysalesnetwork as well. Was www.facebook.com/ysalesnetwork to get registered. We do it on Thursday, every Thursday night at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Again, you've been away from your leaders. You've been working virtually. You're working at home, you have a home computer here, you're homeschooling, you have the kids' computers over here. And you're trying to figure out in that review coming up, right? Because they got them coming in June and July. How are you going to communicate what you've accomplished to your leader? Join us on Thursday. 3 tips to acing your performance review. Wanda's going to take it home for us.
Awesome. Miss Wanda, too. What are some things that people can do to improve? And we're not going to give all of it, but what are some things that people can do during this COVID situation or virtually, since they're not able to go to New Orleans for most of them, if they're not already residing there, they're not in Minneapolis or Vegas. What are some things that they can do to improve or stay in front of their management team or their leaders just currently? Just maybe one tip that we could go with right now.
So the question around staying in front of your leader, I've worked virtually my entire career. Okay. So my manager doesn't schedule an appointment with me. I schedule an appointment with him. So you wait if you want to for them to schedule an appointment with you. It's usually not good when they're doing that. So I'm not waiting to the weekly drumbeat, what's in my pipeline, blah, blah, blah. I am being forward thinking and saying, let me take advantage of, let me show you something I saw, especially with COVID and all the healthcare issues and all the things. I saw this company that I think our company could use. We're not doing business with them right now, but maybe we could use them. Who in supply chain can we get in touch with? Or I had one customer that had this particular product that I was able to source for them. I wonder if the rest of the organization knows about it. So using your salesforce.com to be able to show information and people start liking that, and then your manager sees your name is showing up. So there's a lot you can do. Take courses free on LinkedIn, online, things that you're showing that I'm just not sitting in my office and homeschooling my kids, as Joy said. I really am taking advantage of this time. So all that stuff that you said, if I had time to do, now is the time. So I should be able to see all the work you did during this time of COVID.
Ooh, wee. I know this is not proper English, but if my grandmother was here and still alive, she'd say just keep getting gooder and gooder and gooder. That's not
keep getting, keep getting. Because Darren, and then to piggyback on that, one of the things they can do, like Wanda said, when they leave the webinar series on Thursday,
see there,
they need to go back and communicate what they learned and share it with their team. And then when they sign up for the Y Sales Leadership Retreat, they need to go back to their team and communicate what they learned.
I love that. I love that, Joyce. And, I want to go a little bit deeper into what Miss Wanda and Joyce has shared. You're hearing the P word, proactive. And today's market, to be a market leader, you have to be proactive when it comes to your life, your career, your health, your association, whatever it is that you're doing, you have to be proactive. This is not sitting around waiting on somebody to tell you what to do. And you wondering why you're losing. You wonder why you're not being promoted. If you're waiting around for someone to tell you what to do, you have to have a growth mindset. And so for those who are listening, don't sit on the sideline. Let's get in the game. Let's be proactive. I'm just looking at, I'm going to use a sports analogy for some of those who are looking at this. When you look at the Michael Jordan documentary or whatnot, he was proactive far as being great. No matter if some thought, he was a little obsessive or whatnot. At the end of the day, he has results. The proof is in the pudding, so to speak. And so when you are moving forward, like what Miss Wanda shared, and coming and saying, hey, I saw this, I thought about this. This is called being solution oriented. I didn't just go get some information. I didn't just go read Think and Grow Rich and just talked about Napoleon Hill. That was a good book. I'm actually having tangible steps that our organization, that our team can use that can allow for us to go to the next level. And so I want to thank you so much for sharing that, Ms. Wanda. Is there anything else that I've left off today that you want to cover? Joyce, we'll start with you and then we'll go to Ms. Wanda. Is there anything else you want to share about Thursday or for the event coming up, Joyce?
Well, absolutely. For the event coming up, Y Sales Leadership Retreat, June 25th, our theme this year is hashtag reinvent yourself. It was hashtag reinvention. And the reason for that is because we have to, like you said, reset our mindset. And we have to reinvent ourselves, re-enhance what we're currently doing. And we have to shift to this virtual environment. And for a lot of us, like Wanda said, the two of us, we've been virtual for many years. So we're going to thrive in that area, but still it's different because we're also used to getting on planes, trains, and automobiles and going seeing customers. And that's not happening right now. So we want to help people prepare to still be able to meet their goals for 2020 and beyond. Right. And so June, right before you have this performance review, is a great time to begin to think about exactly how you're going to do that. So again, join us Thursday, 3 tips to learning how to ace your performance review. You need to get ready, and then you need to have that, we all got to step it up. We got to shift and have that plan to meet our 2020 goals.
Awesome. Awesome. Miss Wanda, what are some last words or parting piece of advice that you can share with our audience?
Well, it's funny you bring up Michael Jordan. So I had freshman math with him at the great UNC Chapel Hill. So as a fellow Tar Heel, I'll use him in this analogy. So one of the things that you noticed in that Last Dance documentary, which was fabulous in watching who he really is as a person, is this tenacious ability and will to win. Okay, that's what he had. I, as a leader, want to see that in you. I don't want to hear somebody barely making 100% talking about how they work if they're a salesperson. But I also don't want the person who's 150% to go who's selfish. And one of the things those coaches taught him, and especially Dean when he was at Carolina, is this is a team. Even though he said, well, there's no I in team, it's just me. They really end up telling him, look, you can't do all this on your own. It takes the entire team to win this game. So whether it's Scottie Pippen or whoever, you got to get somebody to help you. And that's what I need. I need a superstar like a Michael Jordan, but you also got to have those other players on your team. And so I would just say that whatever you're learning, whatever you're trying to show your manager, don't be the superstar coming in trying to have this entitlement attitude about, because I'm at goal, that I'm your number one player. That doesn't mean you're my number one player because you're at goal. You could have got a slam dunk win from a customer who bought 1,000, N95 masks. You didn't do anything. They just needed them. So that's what I would say to you. Don't think your sales number, if you're a salesperson or if you're in some other role in marketing or HR, that some fluke thing will be the thing that makes me feel like you're my number one guy or girl. There's a lot of things that you need to do in this preparation and it's thinking about the team.
You know what, Wanda, and that's a good thing to say, because I was talking to someone last week and I shared with them, when I talk to teams, I like to find out who they think the leader is. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times the guy who think he's the leader isn't the person who the team believes the leader, mm-hmm. And you're only as great as your team. We're on this call with you right now, Darren, and I see Monica out there sharing it to our Y Sales Network Facebook page. She's typing in our website information and everything, right? So you're only as great as the people around you and the team that you put together to, and you're willing to accept that feedback and coaching from. So 100% right. Kudos on that, Wanda.
Yeah, I definitely think that you all did an amazing job today. And I want to put this out here. Go to ysalesnetwork.com. Follow them on Facebook. Go to the website. You're hearing the information that what Miss Wanda shared and Joyce. Being proactive. Don't wait on anybody. Go and get the information, allow for the results to show themselves. And then you can even go back and say, this is what I was able to glean. I was able to learn from these events that I went to. I wanted to be proactive for what I was doing for myself personally and also for the organization. I've seen this as well with people that I work with where their corporation or their boss or their leader said, you know what? You did what? You know what? We invest. We take care of people who do things like that. Let me write you a check or let me add this to you as a bonus because you took the initiative to go and do something and better yourself and better this organization or better our department or our team. So you want to be that type of person that stands up in a time of crisis and say, you know what, I will not be defeated. I'm here to step up during this time. It's like what we call it a wartime CEO. Regardless if you the CEO of the company or not, you are the CEO of Inc. You. And so make sure that you keep that in mind and make sure that you show up this Thursday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. You can register at ysalesnetwork.com. If you think you heard something, you hadn't heard anything yet, because I'm going to be there to be able to learn from Miss Wanda. I want to be there to learn from Joyce and the others as well. So I just want to thank you ladies so much for coming on. And Miss Wanda, do you have any social media handles or anything that if someone want to get in contact with you? I know you're retired, so you might not want to hear from anybody, but if you have information you want to share with anyone who wants
I am still on LinkedIn. And it's Wanda, MCARN is the last name. N is in Nancy. So I am on LinkedIn still, and I do answer the folks that are getting to me. But I will, just to let you know, Darren, I will eventually come back into the light, into society. And I just told people I retired from Granger. Okay. I'm going to take about a year off, and I'm seeking what they call my Ikigai. And that's how I take my passion, those things that I know, my skills, my knowledge, and I put them to work in things that are important to me. So you'll see me back soon.
It's time to reinvent. It's time to reinvent.
Time to reinvent.
That's
2020 reinvention. Ms. Wanda's going to take 2020 off to reinvent.
Awesome. That sounds great. Any last words, Joyce, before we close it out?
Thank you, Darren. Thank you, Wanda. I appreciate you coming out of retirement for me. And for the many people that we are going to impact their lives, like they say, to whom much is given. So I certainly appreciate it. anyone want to reach out to me, they can find me on all my social networks at I am Joyce Johnson. That's YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Joyce Johnson on LinkedIn, and my personal website is iamjoycejohnson.com. So, but go today to www.ysalesnetwork.com, get signed up for the webinar series, and get signed up for the retreat. Make it a great day.
That's it. Thank you so much, Joyce. Thank you so much, Wanda. And I'm telling you, if you can't show up for nothing else, when you got somebody, these women are brilliant and beautiful. It's a double dose of it. So make sure you tune in this Thursday at 6 p.m. and learn how to reinvent yourself. Go ahead and register for the conference. Also show up for the happy hour as well. Until next time, if you want change, be the change. Be blessed and be great.